All right, now we'll take a look at creating multiple box plots for each level of a categorical variable. So here I have a question. It says, click the link, download CSV, to download a data set as a CSV file. So I click the link and it downloads this CSV file, multiple boxplot data.csv. All right. The data set has student answers to the question, did you complete all your homework, in one column, and the grade they earned on the exam in another column. All right. So what they want me to do here is read the CSV file into Python as a data frame. In order to do that, I'm going to use pandas. So I'm going to have to import pandas, and I'm going to give it the nickname. So I'm going to import it as PD. So import pandas as PD. And that's going to import the library I need. And when I call that pandas library now, that object, I'm going to be able to just call it by typing PD. So I'm going to use it to create a data frame. I'm going to name the data frame DF. So the name of my data frame is DF. And I'm going to use pandas to create it. So I'm going to call PD. And I'm going to use one of the methods of pandas, this object. I'm going to use the method called read underscore CSV. So read underscore CSV is the method I'm using. And when I open a parenthesis, it has this that's going to suggest what I need. I need the file path to the CSV file I just downloaded, multipleboxplot.csv. But this file path is going to be a file path on Google server. So I'm going to have to find a way of uploading this file to Google server. And in order to do that, I'm going to come over here to this folder icon that says Files when you hover over it. I'm going to click on the Files menu. When that opens up, I see that there are some icons up here. That very first icon is the Upload to Session Storage icon. So when I click this, I can then search my computer, and here's what I downloaded, the multiple boxplot data. It's in my Downloads folder. So I can just open up anything on my own hard drive and uploaded it to my Google Drive on the in the cloud. So I am going to upload this multiple box plot data, and there it is now on my Google Content Drive. Now I don't necessarily need to know the path to this. If I want to find the path, I can come over here to these three vertical dots, click them, and when you click them, one of the options that comes up is copy path. That's the file path I need in order to use that read underscore CSV method from pandas. So I'm going to copy the file path, close up this pane, and then inside this read CSV method, this function, inside of this parentheses, I'm going to type a single quote, and inside of that single quote, I'm just going to paste the file path. So I'm going to type Control V to paste the file path. So there, I've pasted the file path in. And now I'm going to take a look at what this data frame looks like. So I'm going to give the command df dot, and then another method I can use is a method of a data frame object. A method I can use is called the head method. So I can use df.head to look at the top rows, the top 5 entries or the top 5 observations of my data frame. So when I hit the play button here and it runs the code, I see the data frame and it's giving me the first 5 observation. The first observation is index 0. The 5th observation is index 4. But these are the first 5 observations of the homework answer and the grade that the person got. So the first student here, who has index 0 actually, did not do the homework and got a 71 for their grade. The second student did their homework and got an 87, and so forth. Third student didn't and got a 62. So my 2 variables are homework, which is a categorical variable, and grade, which is a numerical variable. So I'm now going to create the multiple box plot, and right under the question there's the code. So I've already imported pandas, and I've already created the data frame using the file path. Now all I need to do is import Seaborn, which is another library, not pandas, a different one called Seaborn. And I'm going to nickname Seaborn SNS. And then I'm going to use this method of Seaborn called Boxplot. So Seaborn has a function or a method called Boxplot. And when I call it, I have to feed it some inputs. One of the inputs is the data, where the data is coming from, and the data is going to be from my data frame. So in this case, it would be df. X is the numerical variable that I want to create the box plot for. And the hue is the categorical variable. And Y is also equal to the categorical variable that I want to separate the numerical variable by. All right, so let's go ahead and do that there. So I'm going to just make another code cell here. And I'm going to import now Seaborn as SNS. So I'm giving it the alias SNS. So when I call it, I'm just going to call it SNS. So I'm going to call Seaborn SNS. And I'm going to call the specific method from Seaborn called Boxplot, B-O-X-P-L-O-T, Boxplot. That's what I want to create. But I'm going to create a multiple boxplot by giving it first the data frame name. So I'm going to give it the data is in the data frame called df. So I'm pointing it to where I want it to get the variables from. The data comes from df. Then I'm going to put in the numerical variable as x. So the numerical variable here is grade. And since it's a string, I'm going to put it in quotations. I'm going to use a single quote. So x is going to be equal to grade. That's the variable that's numerical. And I'm going to make a comma there, and then I'm going to let y equal, well, y is going to be equal to the categorical variable, as you can see, the categorical variable, and also the hue is going to be equal to the categorical variable. The categorical variable is homework. Homework just has categories of yes or no. So since it's a string, once again, I need quotations and homework. And then I'm also going to set that equal to the hue. So the hue, H-U-E, is also equal to homework. All right, so this is going to create my multiple box plot. It's going to create one box plot for those who said yes, they did their homework, and another box plot for those who said no, they did not do their homework based on the grade that they received. All right, so when I run this, it's going to give me my two box plots. So the people that said no, their grades are spread out further, and the maximum grade there is still lower than the maximum grade for those who did. All right, then let's see. We have here the maximum grade for people that did their homework was 100%, and they have an outlier. Maybe this person got bonus points or extra credit or something, but they got more than 100 points, so that's an outlier there. All right, so this is how you create multiple box plots using Seaborn library.